I have nieces and nephews to love on. Excuse me.
Sometimes they can go through the nose, but I think this one is more on the lateral side. So I think going from the cranial, sometimes they can try to fix it from the nose, but I think going from the cranial would be a better deal. I discussed with Ms. Knight that surgical treatment is indicated as this is chronic condition, but it will continue going off and on, and God forbid cause eventually significant life-threatening meningitis period. Therefore, we need to proceed with this diagnostic at earliest convenience. And
Good morning, family. I know the message that you just heard is a little alarming. So yeah, squad, I have a health update for you guys. I know you probably have noticed that I have not posted anything lately. When I say these last 6 to 7 months have been peculiar, that's to say the least. But yeah, let's jump into it. I don't want to keep you too long, but I do want to update you guys. So as you know, if you are a regular here, you're part of the K Squad, you know I have issues, what seems like sinuses, allergy issues. If you are new here, I have had allergy issues from 2011, and they have recently gotten worse, especially with my bout of bacterial meningitis back in 2019. I've mentioned that in several other videos, and I'll leave them above so you can kind of get a look at the experience. And if you know anything about bacterial meningitis, then you know that it is a deadly thing. So by the grace of God, I was covered and healed, and I made it through. But I've had family graduations back in May, a death in the family at the beginning of June, end of May, beginning of June. I was going through sinus issues during my birthday. I have had baby births in the family. It's just been a lot going on. So during that time, at the end of May, I started to feel like how I normally feel when an allergy onset comes. And this time it got a little bit worse, because one day I did a really big cough, and normally I'm congested here. It moved from here to the side of my ear, and I began to get fluid in my eustachian tube. So I went to several urgent clinics. I went to ER, and they all said the same thing. Oh, it's just allergies. Let's get you some more Zyrtec in your system. Let's get you a Z-Pack, a Benadryl shot. All of this, all these medications going towards allergies, and nothing was working. Finally, back in 2019, I had asked for a referral to go to an ENT. So I checked on that referral so that I can get in with the ENT. And when he took a look at me, he was saying the same thing. You have, fluid in your ears, but your ears are looking good. What we're going to do, I was like, is it possible to, kind of get a allergy test or a CT scan of my head to see if anything else is going on with my sinuses? He was like, well, before we go there, I'm just going to give you this prescription to see if it'll clear it up, and then we'll worry about the CT scan later. So he gave me a month worth of antibiotics and I can't even remember how many days, but I was taking steroids from the end of June to the end of July. So I was on a long taper of antibiotics and steroids, prednisone. So that cleared up. It cleared up. I was starting to breathe a little better by July, and I was able to go on my birthday trip. And as you saw some of the footage, I was still having napkins to kind of tame the drip that I was having. But I also seeked out a primary care provider So that's been on my list forever, to find someone who can care for me, you know, on a regular. And I explained the situation to him and how I've had this issue since 2011 and bacterial meningitis. And I also was having this thing with my eyes. So from all the medicine that I have been taking from the end of May, I developed, I'll put the word here, but my eye was really, really sensitive to light. If I had it now, I wouldn't be able to look at this without having some kind of shade over my eye. It was very red, swollen. I went to an optometrist as well, and she said the same thing, and she said that it may be autoimmune related. So when I got to the primary care doctor, he also mentioned the same thing. He was like, it may be autoimmune, and I gave him a list of things that were autoimmune related in my family. And of course, you know, that sense of rush in your mind. What if it's lupus? What if it's fibromyalgia? What if it's arthritis? What if it's this? So all of this is on me, like, what is coming next? So he did some blood work. My ESR was 71. For a woman, the usual is below 30. So that was definitely alarming. So he was leaning more towards autoimmune. But like I said, when I mentioned the bacterial meningitis, in 2019, my nose dripped from February of that year to December until I caught bacterial meningitis. So he said that was odd, that my nose ran like that and then it turned into that. So he ordered a CT scan and then an MRI and gave me a referral to a neurosurgeon. The audio that you just heard is my consultation with the neurosurgeon, and it has been confirmed that I have had a birth defect. I was born with a hole in my brain, in my skull. So my spinal fluid is escaping through my brain and through that hole into my sinuses, and it's coming through the lateral, as they say. And if it was more centered, they would probably be able to go through my nose, but he's telling me that they're going to have to go through this side of my head, pinch out some fat from my stomach to fill up wherever that hole is. So my update to you guys, I will be preparing to undergo brain surgery, skull surgery. Don't know the date yet, but I do have some follow-up things I need to do. An MRI with contrast, CT scan, maybe a lumbar puncture, and some more lab work. And if you don't mind, I would like to take you guys on this journey with me. My emotions have been all over the place, but I will say I have not been without my faith. I am going to make it through this. We are going to make it through this together. I just need y'all's support, your love, your comments. Keep me motivated on days that I get too emotional to in my head. Help me get out of it. Because I can't promise. I'm human. I can't promise that I won't. I have been so adamant this year to be intentional, to be more productive, to set my boundaries, to go after all of my goals, and to find my purpose. I have nieces and nephews to love on. Excuse me. And this week, if you guys know, I started a new job this year at the university that I graduated from in December, and I was able to put on, with the help of other co-workers, to put on my first event here. And the impact that I see that I'm making on even just a few students is enough for me. I want to be around for them. I feel like this is a part of my purpose, so help me get through this process. And when I get through this process, we gonna win together. We are going to take this world by storm. So I know the Lord has me through this process, and I want to keep you guys updated as much as I can. I don't want you guys to feel like I'm dropping a big ball of news on you. I don't want you to feel sad for me. I know I'm dropping tears right now, but I don't want you to be sad for me. I just want you to uplift me, encourage me, stand in the gap for me. That's it. That's all. And, you know, Just keep me covered in prayer. I love you guys, and don't you forget it. And you know my usual. Don't forget to tell me how you bossing, because we're gonna boss this. All right. See y'all later.